People on Facebook, guys. Let's get ready to tumble! Oh, Jesus, what was that smell? Oh, God, Johnson, what is that smell? What is reeking? Ladies and gentlemen, just in, not so good news for the Democratic Party. Looks as if the quarterback is toast. Ladies and gentlemen, it's something I've been trying to tell people, not articulating it. They weren't listening to us. They were not listening to us. We've been talking about this. We've been talking about this. Some of us have been saying this for almost a year now. Some of us have been saying it for 5 years. Hell, I started my career in politics saying it. Black people need something for their votes. It looks as if Terry McAuliffe is getting his clock cleaned in Virginia. This is just a precursor, I tell you, just a precursor to what's going to be future ongoings or goings on as we get closer and closer to 22 and into 22. What's up with my signal? Go to YouTube if Facebook ain't acting right. This is what's happening, guys. The Democratic Party does not deliver. So, therefore, the Democratic Party case in point, not to get too long in the tooth about it, let's jump right to some audio-visual wares.
Absolutely.
Democratic officials, state senators, others, telling me that the Republican's going to win, that kind of weighs heavily with me.
In the late going of this race, as McAuliffe's lead was evaporating, from the Republican we were hearing about parents versus unions and schools and about race. Does that seem to you to be something we'll hear a lot more about as we head toward the midterms?
Yes, I think it will be somewhat refined from what has been determined here in Virginia. There were some rough edges on both sides. Well, the Democrats didn't really even have a plan to refute the attacks on critical race theory and other items that were used to go after school policy. They clearly have to develop one quickly and use it, implement it. For the Republicans, I think they'll want to make certain they refine it in a way that does not suggest that they are being racially insensitive, which some people, certainly in minority communities, did interpret their approach as being.
Larry Sabato, as always on nights like this, thank you so much.
Oh, so that doesn't look good, Johnson. Doesn't look good at all. It appears that what they're calling out there, look, and I want to be very clear, Johnson. I don't agree with the commentary here, but what they're saying is that in the Virginia race at least, it seems as though the Democrats are flat-footed when it came to challenging or refuting the critical race theory nonsense that has been flying around. Now, we all know, and what the truth is may not always be, or the thing that you think you're arguing about may not be always what the attack is. So, wild instances of people having certain kind of flavor sprinkled into their curriculums in schools has morphed into this overarching idea that the Democrats are somehow the party of black people, like as if they really fight for black folks, as if they are really. So they have these conservative or moderate Democrats thinking and Republicans thinking, which are almost the same thing, maybe barring gay marriage or something. But they have them believing that the Democratic Party is full of a bunch of radical lefties that want to make things equal or make white people feel bad about being white people or make black people feel good about being black people but by still being disenfranchised. And for some reason that sells well because it's crazy. It makes no sense, but it sells. So, two things here. First of all, You don't need a good defense if you got a good-ass offense. And the Democratic Party does not have an offense that's empowering. They don't have an offense when it comes to how they run these campaigns and what they run on. I'm trying to tell you guys that I do not believe for a moment, folks, that the Republicans or the moderate Democrats, or whoever they are, who are so turned off by critical race, would be so turned off by critical race if Terry McAuliffe had a substantive offering that was going to change the lives of people in Virginia. You got to have something to really offer people. If you don't, they listen to shit like this. But Terry McAuliffe didn't have anything to offer. All Terry McAuliffe ran on, my understanding is, correct me if I'm wrong, phone number's on the screen, 319-527-6212. Terry McAuliffe ran on, Trump is evil. Trump is evil. Now, the only people that still care about hearing that shit are milquetoast Democrats, not young people coming out in droves, which they you really need them to do, but they haven't done. But they've come out a little. Like, you haven't done enough. You're not exciting anyone to come out. Case in point, to this, another piece of tape I have here that's, see if we can get to that.
Democratic officials state.
Hope this is it.
I met with a McAuliffe canvasser yesterday in a restaurant, and she said, I literally am going door to door and having to clasp my hands and beg some of these younger African American voters to please go out and vote, and explaining to them what is at stake here, Steph. Anecdotally, I met with a McAuliffe canvasser yesterday in a restaurant, and she said, I literally am going door to door and having to clasp my hands and beg some of these younger African American voters to please go out and vote.
Please vote for us. Please, black people, vote for us. Vote for us. Please, young black person, please come out and vote for us. Please, please, please. They literally had to clasp their hands together and beg for black people to come out and vote for them. And the only reason why you have to beg black people to vote for you is because you don't offer black people anything of substance. No one has to beg when they got something to offer you. When was the last time you really needed something and someone offered it to you? They had to beg you to take it. When has that ever happened in the history of man? When has it ever happened that you were hungry and someone offered you some food and you didn't want it? They had to beg you. Not only did you not want it, they had to beg you to try to persuade you to take the food that you're growling, your insides are growling for. Your very essence, your very survival. Your very life forces wants to reach out of your body and grab the hamburger. Whatever, grab the plate of greens, mixed vegetables, potatoes, carrots, radishes, and what have you. For my vegan friends. My son is vegan. I got a warm spot for him. When was the last time that's happened to you? When was the last time you were thirsty, thought you were going to die of dehydration, die of thirst, and someone said, here goes a nice, cool quart of water. It's got ice crystals in it. And they had to beg you to take it. Never does it happen. But we have such a decrepitly stupid. You know what? I'm sorry, guys. My bad, Johnson. Not stupid. We have such a nefarious party as the Democratic Party that they and the people that report on their behalf will not report it truthfully. So the Democrats are working against their own best interests of winning anything, but the point is they can't offer anything because they don't want to be held liable of actually doing anything. So they can't offer you water, right? You're dying of thirst. They're offering you some charcoal briquettes. That's not what I wanted, but we got a whole box of charcoal briquettes. I'm not trying to barbecue. I need something to drink. No, we don't have that, but we have this. You should take this. You should take these earmuffs. It's not cold. It's 85 degrees. I need water. They won't take the damn earmuffs and the charcoal briquettes. They were offering them. You got to beg them to take them. Of course you have to beg us to take them. We don't want them. Let me tell you what we want. We don't want to hear what you want, says the Democratic Party. We tell you what you want, and now we're going to proceed to shame you for not taking the thing in which we want to give you that you do not want. And that is the story of the Democratic Party. Now, it's not as if they couldn't go and offer you some water. If they offered you water, first they got to get clearance from their lobbyists and from the big people that run the money campaigns. They have to get permission from the true powers that be. Those are the people that hold the purse strings. And those people holding the purse strings says no water, no agua for you, no H2O for you. So it's not a sense. So stop, please stop. Let's all of us commit to stopping saying that Democrats are stupid. They're not stupid. They're bought and paid for, just like the Republican Party. Let's stop it right now. Perish the thought. Stop the nonsense, Johnson. Quit it. Let's stop right now. Let's stop being naive. To say that someone's stupid is diminishing the actual corruption in place. To say someone doesn't get it only serves to distract us from the true point of the matter. The fact of the matter is, they can't get it because they're paid not to get it. Their very survival on a financial level hangs in the balance on them not getting it. They have to pretend not to get it. Have to pretend that we're talking past each other. We have to pretend that we don't understand each other. You understand what I'm telling you? You get it. You understand, Democratic Party. The Republican Party is the same way, but they don't pretend to get it. They don't pretend like they're trying to get it. They don't want to get it. There's nothing you can do to make them take it. Fine. But see, the problem is there's already one Republican Party. But the Democratic Party wants to be like the Republican Party, but we already have a Republican Party, so why would anybody want to vote for the Democratic Party? If the Democratic Party is only being a weak pretender of the Republican Party, and plus losing the culture war and all this nonsense that people love to write about that gets ink. It gets ink. It gets ink when you have these battles, these culture wars. When you want to sit around and talk about what some comedian said one night and make that the focus point of your whole fucking party for the 2 weeks up to this election. How stupid was that? And then to basically lose the argument. Yeah, I'm saying it. You don't think that has a bearing on people's psyche? You don't think that has something to do with it? I think it has something to do with it, Johnson. And now they want to blame black people. Well, here you go. They're saying up black people. Black people problem. It's the black people coming out. It's the lack of black people coming out. That's the problem. Has to be the problem. It could never possibly be the Democratic Party themselves. So we got the media already running interference preemptively. Terry McAuliffe offered nothing. He's just as Republican as a Republican. So why have him? Got this guy Youngkin that I know nothing about. He ran on critical race theory. It's horrible for you. Terry McAuliffe ran on Donald Trump. Is horrible. A ghost. Donald Trump and Trumpism is a problem. Well, just so happens, of course, we got more people that who want to keep the balance of power safely in the white area with white folks. They were a lot more enthusiastic than the people that were so pissed off about Trump. There it is. End of story. There it goes. I solved it all. We wrapped it up. All the people that you're paying NBC, MSNBC, and CNN to have these conversations, everyone that's going to fly in, all the panels that they're going to run, I just solved it for you. For free right here on the Tim Black Show. You guys feel what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Does that make sense? The Democratic Party is reaping what it sows. The roosters came home to roost. Hitching your wagon to Joe Biden. There's nothing to hitch. It's a hitchless wagon. Donald Trump endorsed this guy, Youngkin. Even didn't Obama come out for Terry? Everybody came out for Terry. They were selling nothing. Man, I like Nas too. I like Nas. I like Rakim. I like KIS-One. I'm an old hip-hop head. But you bring them all to the stadium to perform and they don't do any songs, I want my money back. So you can bring out all these Democrats you want to bring out. Even if I do like them, they ain't selling me anything. Helping you win is not exciting. You making sure I win is exciting. These people are Hillary Clinton all over again. Did Hillary run twice? Did we already learn this? Don't we already know? Don't you know? Your slogan, Terry McCullough's slogan might as well have been, I'm with him. Well, I'm with the guy who was with her who lost, but now be with me. Come on, Johnson. Come on, Johnson. Here goes your best piece of editorial on this you're going to find. The best piece of commentary you're going to find. Terry McAuliffe's his slogan should have been, I'm with the guy who was with the woman who lost. Now be with me. But see, no, I'm gonna be fire and electric on these panels, but they don't want me, do they, Isaiah Washington? They don't want me. Why, Isaiah? Because I'll say some real shit. They can't have no real shit said. We can't have real stuff. What's that? Someone saying something real. We can't have any real thing. So we can't have real elections. We cannot have real elections because we don't want to have real politicians. We can't have real commentary because we do not want a real critical analysis of what's going on. We don't really want to know what's going on because we don't really want to fix the problems, and we don't really want to win either. So that's all this is happening at the same time, Johnson. I don't want to bore you anymore with this. McAuliffe is done. Next story. Know when to hold 'em. Know when to fold 'em. Know when to walk away, know when to run. Now, there's something going on in Buffalo, New York. And look, guys, I noticed that people are covering this now. This is great. Cover this. Amazing. Fantastic. I love it. I'm so glad that I'm not emotionally invested in this race. Folks, you got to understand, I don't want to be emotionally invested in any races of political nature. I've learned my lesson. It's so much better not to being attached to it. Oh, it's so much better. Because what happened in Buffalo, oh my God. Oh, it's disgusting, Johnson. Whoa, like someone got caught on a fence. Ow, Jesus. I don't want to see that, Johnson. Someone's innards are strewn apart on a fence line. I don't want to see that. And we've got kids here, damn it. Get that out of here. Get that out of here. A man has no shirt on and he needs to do sit-ups. And he's obviously a serious beer drinker. Get him out of here. We got kids trying to eat here, buddy. Pull your plumber pants up, your butt cracking. Get that out of here. Kids are here. Get out of here. This is nasty, Johnson. This is horrible. It's a man with no teeth trying to start an apple in front of company, and this can't stand. Folks, I'm talking about what's happening. What happened today in Buffalo, New York? My God, Johnson, I do not feel good about this at all. And the hardest thing about this is I feel like India Walton meant well. She had, and she won. The woman won the race. She already won. This is Groundhog's Day. India. Byron Brown declares victory over India Walton in wild write-in campaign. You heard it here, folks. India Walton loses to this. He loses to the bear on the serious Sugar Snaps bear. And he's a shicey Republican who should not even have been in the race. This race was over. He'd already lost. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all my Johnsons, history was made tonight in the Buffalo campaign. The mayoral electoral race that seemed destined 5 months ago. Mayor Byron Brown is the likely winner of an unprecedented fifth four-year term, almost certainly becoming the first person to achieve that distinction, while also becoming the first write-in candidate to win a citywide election. He declared victory shortly after 10:30. With 96% of precincts reporting their results from Tuesday's voting, with nearly all early voting counted. Walton had 40.9% of the vote, but that meant 59.04% of the votes were write-ins, most of which are likely for Brown, who waged a fierce write-in campaign. He'd already lost, and then he ran as an independent and won, Johnson. Shut the front door, Johnson. Just shut it. Shut it shut, and shut people's arms in it.
Today's election was not just a referendum on the direction of the city of Buffalo. It was a referendum on the future of our democracy and our vision for our future. You know, at the very beginning, today's election was not just a referendum on the direction of the city of Buffalo. It was a referendum on the future of our democracy and our vision for our future. You know, at the very beginning, they said we couldn't win. It was impossible to win as a write-in. But you know, you can't ever count a Buffalonian out.
Oh, you can, definitely. Most certainly, you can count a Buffalonian out, and you winning is an example of it. There's no clearer example of Buffalo being counted out than having you again as its mayor, sir. Let's not get this twisted. This man is a cretin. He should be shunned from the party. In fact, he should have to step down, Johnson. What he did is so egregious against the Democratic Party himself. He stole an election from a Democrat because he lost to a Democrat in a campaign he bothered not to run in, totally disrespected this woman. She defeats him at the ballot box. He comes back and gathers money support for more corporations, smears and lies, and did whatever he needed to do in order to scare people that this woman, this black woman, was the boogeyman, that she was coming to make Buffalo, New York a little Venezuela, a little Cuba. And I'm only partly exaggerating. These are the things he intimated. Okay? India Walton went on to say, I knew this was going to be an uphill battle. Walton did not concede, but appeared to acknowledge the numbers were not in her favor. It's not as if this guy blew it away, but the point is that the write-in votes, there's so many write-in votes left, and we know that more than likely Byron Brown takes the larger percentage of the write-in votes because he is the major write-in candidate. And Walton had only secured 34.51% of the votes among those who voted early, meaning 65% of the votes were write-in votes. That means the 8-day early voting period put Walton 4,737 votes behind the combined number of write-in votes. Add that all up and mix it up, turn around, spin 3 times, click your heels, DJ drop the beats, and you got yourself Sugar Smacks. Sugar Smacks was the turtle or something. Who's the bear? Used to be on the CB radio or something. I forget his name. The bear on a cereal box. You know what? This is so horrible, guys. It doesn't matter what his name is. It doesn't matter. Every vote needs to be counted. Right now, it's Walton against write-in. Whoever that is, I think that who that write-in is remains to be seen. There are also two other far lesser known write-in candidates, Ben Carlisle and Jazz Miles. The quarterback is toast. Now, before some people start running down the hill and saying, see, a write-in candidate can win. He was a write-in candidate in name only. This guy is purely Democrat establishment, up and down. He's basically a Republican, just like most corporate Democrats. This is not some willing and dealing third-party candidate, so please don't try to use this as muscle or leverage for your shit campaign ideas. This guy is well entrenched. The problem with India Walton is she's running as a Democrat in the Democratic Party and is dubiously against change. So the only thing she did wrong was be a Democrat running in Buffalo, New York against an establishment candidate who's well entrenched and be India Walton. And I don't even know what that means, but that's what it means. This is what it is. The only way she could have won this is not be who she is and he not be who he is, and this not be who they are, not be who we are as a country and as a nation. And if it wasn't for those things, she would have won. Now, I'm waiting for people, but where's everyone running out to say and take credit for it? Oh, she really had a good chance, and I really supported her, but what would her win really mean? It would have meant a lot for Buffalo, New York. That's what it would have meant. Why didn't you go down in Buffalo? All the naysayers, why didn't you go down to Buffalo? And then pretend to feel bad about her losing. Anyway, guys, I feel bad about it because I do believe that India Walton means well and that she has far superior motives and far superior policies in mind for the people of Buffalo, New York. But if the people of Buffalo, New York do not feel that way, and if the Democratic Party is able to lie and cheat and steal and be corrupt and eat its own in order to maintain status quo, then what do you have? Those people who make revolution at the ballot box impossible make revolution in the streets inevitable. Hello, somebody. Part of the reason why the Democratic Party continues to lose is because there's a lack of enthusiasm. There's an enthusiasm gap. You know what I'm saying? There's an enthusiasm gap. So the Democrats are not enthusiastic, but the Republicans are very enthusiastic. Because, and this is going to remain so, as we get to the midterms, watch this play out. Watch it play out, Johnson. I'm your budget-friendly commentator who knows what he's talking about. Calls it as he sees it. Listen, there is an energy gap, an enthusiasm gap. Republicans are fired up because they wanted their guy to win. Their guy did not win. They feel like there was a corruption. They even stormed the Capitol. Sounds like as bad as it was, as borderline treasonous as it was, it does show enthusiasm. It does show enthusiasm. On the other hand, you got Republicans. You got corporate Democrats, which are Republicans, but we're going to call them Democrats because we don't want to get them confused. Democrats ended up with Joe Biden winning, and Joe Biden went in there and couldn't get shit done. He went in and fell asleep, damn it. He went in and fell asleep. And all of his big ideas of relieving student debt to medical leave, family medical leave, to a litany of anything he promised. Even when the two senators from Atlanta, Georgia won, Smirnoff and Warcock. Even when they won, what did they do? Nothing. They didn't even keep their promise on the $2,000. No enthusiasm, Johnson. No enthusiasm. Terry McAuliffe got 90% of the black vote. But being as though very unenthusiastic turnout, you know, when we were saying that there needed to be a black agenda is not only necessary for black people, it's necessary for white people too. Because without a black agenda, black people are not going to come out. And if black people don't come out, you lose. That's what you don't get. So all of them who don't support the Tim Black Show, all of you who now, I see some people are now growing backbones. Welcome to your spines. Congratulations, you are about a year late. But I'm glad you came out. Thank you for coming out. It's impressive. But I tried to tell you, I've been telling you for almost 2 years, the black vote matters. Why does it matter? Oh, you thought it's just for us. That's why you didn't give a damn. The reason why you want the black people to have something for their vote, the reason why what the black people agenda is matters to you, here it goes, wait for it, it's because if we ain't enthusiastic, you ain't gonna win shit. It's gonna be a long winter, and winter's coming. Hell, winter's already here. It's already starting. And as long as, because mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. And in case you didn't know, black people are mama. Now, there's a group of people that understand this perfectly, and no one calls them divisive. The Asians.
Absolutely. I feel like, first, it's great to be on, and I feel like the Asian American vote is really going to decide this election. It's the fastest growing, we are the fastest growing voting bloc in the state and really in the country. And, you know, my district has over 30% Asian Americans, and it's growing. There's a lot of people who came over on H-1B visas and have their green card, and they're going to be citizens soon, and they're already active in the grassroots. And so it's not surprising, and it's welcoming to see the grassroots support and the involvement of Asian American immigrants. 30? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know, my parents came in the late 70s. Dulles Airport was my mother's port of entry, and Loudoun County, where I live, in Fairfax County next door, has been sort of the Ellis Island for so many hundreds of thousands of Asian Americans. And, you know, we've made many contributions over the past decades, and, you know, the economy, medicine, and government contracting, a lot of small businesses as well, Asian American owned. But now we're, you know, making a difference and an impact in the political arena. You know, the Asian American vote has come out in big numbers over the past 3 or 4 years. I'm just seeing more and more, you know, Asian Americans get involved and come to canvas launches and rallies, and it's very exciting. And you know, now it's a group that, you know, we need to be taken seriously. And you know, we're seeing that people are coming to our events, and we're even having an API caucus, as you mentioned, because we want to make sure we have a legislative agenda for all Asian Americans in Virginia.
Yeah. Give it up for my Asian brothers and sisters out there doing their thing. Give it up for them. I like to call attention to all the people that were upset that the Asian people were talking about an Asian agenda. That's right. I want to call those people out who were complaining and upset about the Asian agenda. That these Asian folks have decided they need a political will in order to fulfill the issues and resolve problems in their communities that will strengthen their businesses and make life of their children better. I want to call out all of those who have been taking long dumps and calling them divisive and calling them racist, reverse racism. I want to call out everyone who did that. Damn it, that must stop. My only problem is no one said that. No one's been saying anything negative about the Asians having an Asian agenda. No one talks about it. No one says a mumbling word. Because it's acceptable for the Asians to do it because they're Asians. You know, I've been a good friend of the Democrats, even though I'm the most scathing critic of the Democrats, because I tell you what you need to do to win. I tell you what you need to do to win. Unfortunately, it's also what you do not want to do at any cost. So there's the problem. There's the quandary. But I tell you exactly what you need to do to win, and you do exactly the opposite. Then we have these other people that say they tell you what to do to win, but none of it involves actually getting votes. They make up fantasies about going and unradicalizing or de-radicalizing redneck skinheads or something. And I'm telling you what you need to do to win. You don't want to listen to me because that might actually help you win. But if you listen to me, you got to actually help black people. But you don't even care because at the end of the day, just like most of America, you'd rather lose than help black people. Even if by helping them with black people, you help yourself at the same time. I'm trying to tell you, unless you have a black agenda, black people not only lose, but you lose. But you know what else? Black people are used to losing. And I guess the Democrats are too. Black people not excited? It's real simple, man. If mom ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. The house ain't right. Dad sleep on the couch. The kids need therapy. And the family falls apart. It's basic. You don't understand this? That's how the black family structure is. Maybe in some other worlds it's different, but that's how it works. Our cultures are different. That's what's happening culturally. That's what happens. That's the black family, and this is you guys. Okay, you guys, the Democratic Party, you're not getting it. If you don't treat that woman right, eventually she meets somebody else. Case closed, face closed. That's what happens. Eventually someone pumps her gas. Eventually somebody else rotates her tires. Eventually someone else checks the oil. Eventually somebody else puts in a new filter. You understand what I'm saying? Someone else gets the car up. Someone else fixes the flat. Someone else milks the cow. Someone else delivers the papers. Someone else that ain't you. This is basic, Johnson. So don't be so damn surprised. You asked for it, you got it. You can have it your way. At Oarsman Chevrolet. Hey. So shout out to the Asian agenda. Last but not least, guys, then we're going to go to phone lines. I know it's late. There's a father out of Seattle, Washington, whose teenage daughter went missing. Of course, he was very upset, fraught with pain, anguish, as his daughter could not be found. The police searched for her, they could not find her. He himself put together his own investigative skills and was able to track down his daughter, rescue her, and bring her home. After bringing her home, he discovered that she had been held captive in a sex trafficking ring. Yes, his baby girl had been sex trafficked, his teenage daughter sex trafficked, and the man responsible was a grown-ass man, an adult. After identifying who the man was, she somehow became aware of the man's whereabouts in a local town not too far away. He travels to the town. He confronts the man who put his daughter into sex trafficking slavery. During the confrontation, he hits the man in the head with a cinder block. He then proceeds to stab the man several times. He throws his limp body, his dead body, in the trunk of a 91 Honda Accord and parks it somewhere. A year later, some crackheads or whatever, discovered a Honda Accord and had its keys in it. They try to take it for a ride. They ransack it. They smell a fierce odor coming from the trunk of the car. They call it in, being the good citizens that they are. Turns out there's a body in the trunk. That body in the trunk is identified and an investigation proceeds. Now, for some strange reason, the police department that could not find his daughter, who was being sex trafficked, has somehow uncanny ability to track down who may be a part of the demise of the said knucklehead in the trunk of the Honda Accord. Turns out in a lapse of judgment, the father who committed the act had told a friend. That friend turned state evidence, told of a man who reportedly had beat a man and put him in the trunk of a car. The police arrived at the man's house, the father's home. They questioned him. They took him down to the station, questioned him, and he confessed to the killing of the disgustingly sex trafficking of minors, deceased man. The father's name is John Eisenman. This happened in Seattle, Washington. The dad is being held on $1 million of bond. He's facing charges of murder. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not saying that I agree with what this father did, and I'm not saying what he did was right, but what I'm saying is I understand. We'll be right back after this commercial. Stay tuned. Call in. It's on you now, Johnson. I've done my job. Wolfpack. Let me ask you something. Did they not say they? I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe.
Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to timblacktv.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.
All right. Here we go. Welcome back to the Tim Black Show. Glad you could be here. Phone number. Oh, my God, I didn't put the phone number up on the screen. What is going on, Tim Black? Bam. 319-527-6212 is the number that you dial into. Folks, dial in. Speak your truth to power. Let's make it be known. Let's do it. I've done all the talking I need to do. Now it's your turn. All right, let's go to the first caller in queue. We got a 917 number in the queue. Let me get my headphones ready. Hold on, Johnson. I know you're ready. You're chomping at the bit. You got something you want to say? I feel you. Let's get you on the record, 917. Let's turn up the mic so the mic can be ready, 917. All right, 917, you're live now. What's your name? What's your comment?
Yo, Tim Black. It's your KJ from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
What up, KJ? What's happening, brother?
Oh, brother, long time no talk with. Crazy night tonight, no doubt. First of all, I'd like to give a big shout out to Eric Adams, our new mayor here in New York. He's my Brooklyn borough president. He's a good guy. Yep, good guy. We like Eric. He's a good guy. I didn't think that what's his name? Curtis Lewa had a shot anyway. It was a joke. But we're real happy with that Eric is, becoming the next mayor. Anything's better than de Blasio. A ham sandwich would be better than de Blasio. So, I mean, but I gotta say, this has got to be like a perfect lesson, I think, and this should set a precedence from now on. When the two top Democrats running in Virginia and New Jersey, forget about Virginia. Virginia, I had a feeling Youngkin could win. But New Jersey, my God, Murphy just came on TV and he said, "Oh, we got to count all the votes." This guy Chittarelli is ahead of him. They said that Murphy was going to win by 8 points.
Whoa.
I mean, 8 points.
Whoa.
Yo, they brought out 4 presidents to help him. They brought out everyone. Yo, it's like Humpty Dumpty. They couldn't put any of these guys together. They
Damn.
brought everyone out to help, and just a disaster for these guys. I mean, I'm shocked. I couldn't even believe it. Listen, New Jersey is as blue as New Jersey gets, and the fact that Murphy has a chance of being beat, even if he does win, even if he pulls it out, it's still a victory, because it's sad to see these, politicians thinking that they can just depend on Obama showing up and this one showing up and that one showing up, and that's supposed to just, convince people, like you were saying, especially with the black vote, that, oh, we here, so just vote. Come, vote for us. We ain't got nothing to help you or do for you, but shit, you're black. I'm black. Vote for him.
That's it.
I mean, come on. Really? I mean, this has gotten so ridiculous. And of course, McAuliffe, talking still about Trump. Last time I remember, Trump hasn't even been on social media in, almost a year? But, seems like he looms even larger without even saying all them stupid fucking comments. So the reality is, clearly, maybe you silenced one Trump, but I got a feeling you definitely woke up a lot of other people that still, I guess, believe in what he believes in, more so than what the Democrats are trying to push lately, especially with all this madness. I mean, the reality is people are struggling. People don't need to be hearing about LGBTQ issues, like that's more important than paying $4 for a gallon of gas.
Yep.
People don't need to be hearing about CRT when the fact is they can barely find food in the supermarket at a decent price, if it's even there at all. I mean, come on, let's get real. And you know what, Tim? Like I said, too, where I live, I live in Bed-Stuy, and I have a lot of friends, a lot of African-American friends, and let me tell you, they're not happy about these mandates as well, because a lot of them don't want to get vaccinated. I got a 91-year-old neighbor, and I said, Miss Murphy, did you get vaccinated? Oh, hell no, I'm not putting that stuff in my body. 91-year-old woman. Do you know what I'm saying? Yep. So that didn't help them either. So now you're trying to force these people to do something they don't want to do, and now they go in restaurants in New York City. Me personally, I cook, so I can cook better than most restaurants. I could care less. I don't need to go to a damn restaurant and get overcharged for crappy food and shitty service with a fool wearing a mask. But the reality is, these people, it's bad enough, and now you trying to tell, oh, you can't come in, you don't have your vaccination card, you don't have this, you don't have that. And to top it all off, and I'll just end it with this. When the 2 number 1 songs on the chart are F Joe Biden or Let's Go Brandon, you got a serious problem with your leader and your party. So, I mean, hello? Is anyone paying attention out there? I mean, come on. But, this is some sad stuff, bro. Wow. And listen, like me, I'm an independent. I'm a Trump guy, but I am an independent. And I look at all of this, and I see what's going on. And also, big shout out to Minneapolis, because clearly they came to the senses, and they voted against ending the police out there. So, I mean, they got serious problems out there. Listen, the police need to be reformed. We all get it. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what religion, what you're about. We all know the police need to be reformed, but that takes more money and that takes more training, okay? That takes people with more intelligence to get involved. You can't take money away from something that you already feel is lacking in departments where it could be improved if you have the right people and the right, services involved, teaching these people, showing it's so sad. But bro, this is where we're at, and this is not looking good for the Democrats because come 2022, oh, Lord Jesus, it's going to be a bloodbath. But it's all Joe Biden's fault.
It will be.
Listen, folks, you voted for the man. And those of you who didn't vote for him, we know how that went down too. But guess what? You reap what you sow, and like you said, you got a hitchless horse or a hitchless wagon, whichever one he is. He's not cutting it. He's not doing his job, and people have lost faith in this man. Whew. But all right, brother. Well, I appreciate you taking my call, Tim. As always, I love you. Have a great night.
Love you back, brother. Thank you for calling in. Give it up for my brother KJ, y'all. Give it up for him. That's my caller. There it is. There it is. And, you know, people have always, you know, I've heard people, they question why I allow KJ to call in for so many years. First of all, this is my damn show, and I let whoever I want call my show. So they can go, you know, they go jump off something. They don't like it. They don't got to listen. But don't be so damn closed-minded. It's important to know what independents are thinking. Okay? That's important to know what people are thinking. You can't just listen to your own self all the time. You don't know what's going on. So KJ's point is, and he's right about some things, and whether it's right or wrong, this is opinion, this is politics. There really is no right or wrong. This way is ways that you see it. And it's also the way that people frame the arguments, right? So I do appreciate him framing it. First of all, I forgot all about Eric Adams. He was sort of like a foregone conclusion for me, to be honest, brother. I mean, I thought New York was going to elect him anyway, hire him. So once he won the primary, I thought it was a walk-in. But important to point out, but New Jersey, I hadn't been covering. So thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. But I like the way he framed the refund the police argument. Right? So has it been articulated that way? Seemed kind of new. How can you defund something when you need to put more money in it to pick up these other agencies within it? And it's sort of like schematics. So if the point is we want to get to a point where it's not all just calling police as we see it, but other organizations, other departments within the police, you know what I'm saying? Would they still be a part of the police structure as people? Because let's face it, man, the creativity level of the average person is not so vast. So when you say defund, but you want to create new ways to protect the public and serve the public, people don't know what that means. It's too abstract. So I get what he's saying, okay, but you got to give more money to it. We know it needs some changing. You change it, but you put money in it to change it. We know the police union like that better. You know, I would only say as well, I've covered stories where cops were on Fox News complaining that they were getting their funds cut, when really they just didn't get as much more money as they wanted. Like, they were already getting an increase. They just wanted more of an increase, and they called the fact that they weren't getting the increase is much more than they had last year. It's still 20%. They want 40%. They're calling the defunding not getting the 40, but getting the 20%, which was 20% more than they had. And they still call that a defunding, and Fox News runs with it. And that's a lie, and that's one of the problems. And another thing, I covered the police department, I think it was in Florida, that when they were given more money, they didn't hire more cops, they gave themselves more overtime. Which is why they didn't want to give them more money, because they can't force them to spend the money even on more cops. Get what I'm saying? Instead, they gave themselves more money, and that's not really what it was for. It's to expand the force. They expanded the force, okay? They enforced themselves to go buy new boats. But this is something you won't hear Fox News talk about. And frankly, you won't hear MSNBC talk about it. At least I haven't heard them talk about it. But you'll hear me talk about it, so let's go to the next call. All right. 540. 540, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, brother Tim. This is Linwood calling you, man. I'm in Virginia, straight up. And I'm going to tell you, I pinched my nose and voted for McAuliffe. I didn't want to vote for McAuliffe. I wanted to vote for Princess Blanding because she was a black woman that was talking about real things that was happening here in the state of Virginia. Because she said it at the debate when she interrupted the debate between Youngkin and McAuliffe. She told McAuliffe, "You're not going to win, Terry. You're not going to win, Terry." And I bust out laughing because I know he wasn't going to win. Even I voted for the bastard. He wasn't going to win because, as you've been saying all along, and there's sometimes I disagree with you, but you are absolutely right. You got to give black people something. You got to give brown people something. You got to give yellow people, red people, tan people. You got to give non-white people something to vote for. And we didn't get nothing to vote for. You know, I was talking to this chick this morning, Randy Rhodes. She said, well, you're complaining. You're too militant. You know why I'm too militant? Because let's keep it real. We're getting sick and goddamn tired, and if I can use that term, we're sick and goddamn tired of most of these white liberals coming down here telling us the country's racist, the country's racist, the country's racist, country's racist. Okay, what are you going to do about it? Silence. So, you know, I've been putting it out here tonight on Twitter that I'm calling all non-white people out. Black, brown, red, yellow, beige, tan, whatever. Stop voting for these two major parties because they're no good for you. They're not, they talk at you, they don't talk to you. They're talking at you. And this house nigga Obama coming in here trying to blame everybody for basically his shit, the way he left the Democratic Party in a shit show, and then we end up with this flunky as the president. Well, guess what, folks? You got what you paid for. I didn't vote for Biden because I knew it was coming. It's the same shit. And I want to give your people some information, too. The electorate here in Virginia was 74-26, which means more white people were more enthusiastic about voting than non-white people. And the white people here made a decision. They said, hey, boy, this critical race thing, we don't know anything about it, but we don't want that shit taught in our schools. We don't want that taught here. And it's not really going to matter because the Democrats still have the General Assembly, which is here is the Senate. So he's not really going to get anything done for about 2 years. By the time we have another presidential election, he'll be out of office because all of our governors are one term.
You know, Linwood, the only problem I had with your argument, brother, is that it seems it's focused a little bit on too much on minorities, not enough on the black vote in particular. And to say that, you know, other people, these other brown and all these other races of people need to get something for their vote. Yeah, when they make minority-targeted programs, they are getting something for their vote. That doesn't help black people. That helps other people that aren't black. So, yeah, that's my only critique of your argument.
That's what I'm saying.
That's my only critique. They are getting something.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like what you just said earlier, Tim. Asians are fighting for their stuff. We should be fighting for ours.
Okay. Well, I'll leave it there. Lynn.
I'm talking in broader terms.
Okay, broader terms. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that, folks. No problem. Give it up for Linwood, man. Give it up for Linwood talking here now. Hey. Democrats got to swallow the horse pills, Johnson. They got to swallow the horse pills. The guys in Virginia, I'm not, I don't know. I'm across the lake, man. I'm right out down 210, brother. Right across the bridge, man, to Woodrow Wilson. All right? So I know exactly, man, what you're talking about. Now, of course, that's Northern Virginia. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I'm not on the ground in Virginia, man. But they were excited. See, here's the thing. White folks are excited against something. They're excited against Trump losing the election and feeling like he got cheated and the election was stolen. They were excited against that. They're excited against critical race theory. Don't have to know exactly what it is. It's the sentiment. Okay? It's the sentiment. Of course, there's some racism involved in there, but it's also the sentiment. And if you listen to the framing of the way that argument's being framed by those media people, yes. You wouldn't like it either if you listen to the framing of it. Now, either you're going to duplicate some of our better speakers against this false narrative, or you're going to end up losing. But then again, it's like Linwood says, what does that get ya? Back to my point, Linwood, just saying something's racist ain't enough. I'm saying job programs. I'm saying set aside, measure a percentage amount of small business contracts to black small businesses. That's a substantive get for black people. That ain't reparations, but it's a substantive get for black folks. Why we could get Mayor Marion Barry for Life did that in D.C. back in the 90s, but we can't get a mayor or governor to do that now in the 2020s, and you want to win and you want the black vote and you want people to be excited? There's nothing to be excited about. Calling people racist doesn't change shit. I'm not saying don't call them racist, but have something to offer. I'm not a politician. I can't offer you anything. Accept the truth, Johnson. And I love it when my people call up and give their version. I said their version of the truth. He ain't working for nobody. He's saying what he believes. But I do got a question. You going on the Randy Rhoads show expecting her to be radical. She ain't, brother, but I feel you, though. I feel you. You know, no disrespect to Randy Rhoads, but I sort of equated to Phil Hartman, Tom Hartman. It's like, you know, just not exactly a fighter for black folks. The melanated. All right, we'll go to the next call. All right, 352, you are live. What's your name? What is your comment, 352?
352.
Gary, what's going on? Hey, brother, what's up? What's up, man? What's going on?
You remember me? It's been a while. But you know what? I'm one of those people that can't go to someone's house if I don't bring some beer or some food. I can't call you until I started paying again. I don't want to call you on your dime. You know what? I think you are great for that. That you're like, you let people, I mean, to be honest with you, I'd say if you want to call me, you guys got to at least pay $5 a month to be a member. Come on. All right? I mean, that's old school to me. I mean, you know, you got people that call and never freaking paid a dime to you and you listen to them. I mean, okay, maybe someday don't understand that in this generation today. But in my day, you had to bring something to the table. Okay? And so I had to wait a little bit, make sure I got the check back this month. I put put a little money in the thing and I come down and I put my 2 cents in, but I had to bring something to the table. These guys that call and they friggin' like call and they're like, I'm like, you're not even a member. You guys ain't even supporting the show. You guys ain't even friggin' sending Tim $5 a month. Are you freaking kidding me? But you want Tim to listen to your shit every night. Are you kidding me? I mean, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, you know, that's for a guy that maybe starts a show and he's got 10 callers. And he's got to build up a show. Tim's been around 10 years. You don't need to listen to you. You guys got to bring, if you want to talk, come on, put some skin in the game. So anyway, that's where I'm at on that point. Let me tell you something that you hit on today that really struck a nerve, because I know I only got so much time. I'm watching the microwave's not working. The TV's not working. I got no clock. People don't realize sometimes you got people calling. And you don't know where they're calling from. You could have a guy calling from a mansion. You could have a guy like me calling from a friggin' shack. All right? I could be in the woods tomorrow. You wouldn't know. All right? So, you know, just to let everybody know, I ain't got much. I got a phone. I call you. I can't even look at you when I talk to you because I can't say echo. You know, if I put it on the phone, I try to watch you and listen to you. You know, it's a 3-second delay. So I got to turn off the video and now talk to you blind again.
No problem, Gary. What's on your mind, brother? What's on your mind? Yeah.
You brought up the girl today that got, where the guy, man, you talk about a thing that really hits home and heart because it happens. God works in mysterious ways. The girl next door yesterday, Tripp, tells me, Gary, TT's not home tonight. I says, what do you mean she's not home? It's 7 o'clock. She's not home. You know, and she's like, well, she didn't come. I said, she should be home. I said, it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. It's getting dark. She's not home. She's never done this. Do you know that this is just a couple of people that moved next door to me? I got a relationship with them. I mean, I love her because she's a woman taking care of 3 kids by herself, and she's got another friend that takes care of her. But it's 2 women in the house taking care of 3 kids, and the 13-year-old runs away like we used to do in the old. But you know what? When a boy runs away, it's not the same to me. When a girl runs away, it really scares me because I think about what you said today about this sex trafficking. And you don't know if your kid got picked up by somebody and ended up in Turkey tomorrow. People don't realize how that shit is happening every freaking day. It's got to hit home. When people think they got problems, let your kid disappear for a fucking hour at 13, 14, especially the girl at night, and doesn't, she ain't come home at night. That is a thing that will make your heart friggin', you'd have to have no heart not to feel that. Anyway, she came home today, all right? And the cops picked her up at 5 o'clock in the morning. She was out with friends. But you know what? In our day, you used to meet the friends, and everybody knew how to track them down. You know what's happening today? These kids are meeting people online who they don't know, and they just trust them, and they go off and they go meet them. This is a scary world to bring up kids. This is a scary world. It was always scary. It's more scary because the internet, now the kids got hold of an internet, and they're making relationships on the internet, and they think this person they were talking to online is really real, and then they go meet them, and they disappear. This is scary shit, and this is real, and it's not like just happenstance like what you said today. This happens every day. This happens every day.
That's right.
So that hit home with me on that, and I want to. So that I think that on that, and I, got a couple of minutes. I'll give you that. I wanted to call and let you know I'm back, and I appreciate you, and I love you, and I didn't abandon you, my brother. I didn't abandon you. All right. I know you lost a lot of people when you won Black. I said, everybody says, okay. Sometimes, Tim, I wish you would bring back a little bit more of your sense of you and kind of get this point across in more of a humor, because sometimes I think they're making you too angry and bitter. I think everything you got to fight for is right, but sometimes they're making you the friggin' bad guy because you got every right to be angry, but you're letting that get to you sometimes, my brother. And you can't let them get to you like that. You got to be smarter than them. And I love you to death, and I'll leave it at that, and I'll talk to you again. Ciao, my brother.
All right, guys. Let's go. Okay, Gary, okay. All right. All right, Gary, that was a long one now. And it's, wow, okay. Hey, man, what I'm going to say, it is what it is. Everyone's got their opinions, Johnson. I thank you for calling up. Thanks for supporting the show. Let's keep it moving, guys. 240. You're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, Tim. This is Stephanie. And I'm sitting here in Northern Virginia tonight, and I've got people in my circle wringing their hands about what is going on with the election here in Virginia. And I have to say I'm neither surprised nor particularly disappointed after what they did to India and Buffalo and to Nina before her. And when I say they, I'm talking about the wing of the party that Terry McAuliffe is from. He's from the Clinton DLC wing of the party, that part of the party. And I'm, these are the people who are messing everything up. And I just have to say, why do we stay? I mean, they tell us we can't go or all is lost, but all is already lost. I mean, losing is all they know how to do. And they can blame us, they can beat us, they can do whatever they want. They run shitty, uninspiring candidates. They run shitty, uninspiring campaigns. They lose, and then very predictably, they turn around and they blame us, because I've seen that already starting to happen. Blaming progressives happens all the time, because after they steal the primaries or they put us down or they shut us out, we don't bring our inspiring passion to their uninspiring candidates who stand for nothing but their own careerism. So why are we still here? Are we masochists? I mean, with due respect, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And when we are disempowered, we can't get anything done anyway. I mean, we can't get anything done now. Look at what's happening with the reconciliation bill. The dental's out of it. The paid leave is out of it. You know, everything is getting watered down and taken out. So why not walk? I mean, the brand is toxic. We'll be more powerful if we leave, because instead of triangulating us and gaslighting us, they'll have to give us something. You know, that's what I think. I mean, this blame game starts all the time. It's always party unity. Democrats didn't come out. It's the Democrats' fault. I'm like, yeah, you know, instead of just blaming the voters, which is a very impotent thing to do, ask yourself why. You know, I saw 5-to-1 Youngkin ads for every McAuliffe ad out here, and the McAuliffe ads were like his resume. Terry's experience. Terry's done it. Youngkin was, I'll end grocery tax, you know? No more tax on groceries. That's something people care about. You know?
Wow. Was that a real thing? No more tax on groceries?
What a real thing.
No more tax on groceries.
Oh, yeah. He had out here, since I've been out here, because I moved from Montgomery County, right?
Yes.
Just in the last few months. And 5-to-1, I've seen Youngkin ads for McAuliffe ads, and his Youngkin ads, not every single one of them, but one of his ads that repeated was ending the grocery tax.
Wow.
Okay? So now you've got people in Montgomery County saying, and it's true, like now Maryland's going to be trying to run Tom Perez, apparently. The Maryland Democratic corporatists are going to be trying to run Tom Perez for governor, saying the same thing will happen there. And yes, the same thing will happen. It's these same cardboard cutout, stand for nothing people.
Stephanie.
I mean,
Stephanie, amazing, Stephanie. Great job, Stephanie. I love what you're saying. I appreciate you calling up and adding more substance to this. I had no idea. That's so informative. Booyah.
Yeah, no, it's true. Thank you, Tim. Thank you. I'm with you.
Thank you. I'm with you as well, Stephanie. Good enough for my caller, Stephanie, y'all. That's damn, I wish I knew that. That's amazing, folks. All right. So, formerly, I was trying to do my thing of trying to expand what we do here on the show, trying to get on various platforms and be able to articulate a message. And people are like, well, we don't know, Tim. We don't know what you do. You support Nina Turner. What else do you know? Well, I know a lot of stuff. I know about the black vote. And this is what I also know, local politics. Let me tell you, folks, that's a winner. That's a winner chicken dinner, Stephanie. That is a winner. What you just told me about Youngkin's campaign, I'm surprised he didn't run away with the whole damn thing. I'm surprised he didn't win by 20 points. That's substantive. That's a thing. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure it out. You know I'm not a rocket scientist because I can even say rocket scientist. Rocket science. You don't need to think about it. There's no mental gymnastics needed. We don't need to crunch the numbers and figure out what the percentage is, carry the 1 squared by anything. No tax on your groceries. Oh. Say it slow to me, baby. Goodness gracious. Play some Teddy Pendergrass while you do that. Light the candles. This is a winner, Johnson. Terry McAuliffe is. Hi, I'm Terry. I'm not the person that lost, but I'm a good friend of hers. I'm from the losing side of the Democratic Party that likes to make you feel bad and then say we love the blacks when we don't. Yeah, that's going to really work. I know Obama. And the other person's selling, here goes a substantive program, something that you can easily understand. We're going to cut some taxes. Let's cut tax on a thing. I'm not saying you benefit the most from this program, but I'm saying you know what you get. You know what you're getting. The end. And that's what I'm talking about, folks. And that's so simple. And look, guys, here goes something else, guys. I'm going to go to the next call. Hang on, guys. I got to say this. Here goes my soundbite, guys. Here's my soundbite. This is going to be in my video. Here it is. Since we cannot get the Democratic Party to do the bidding of the people, Let me talk to my black voters and let me tell you something, folks. I'm not someone's going to tell you to walk away from the Democratic Party. You don't have to walk away from the Democratic Party. All you have to do is know that your vote is your vote. I'm not telling you to walk to the Republican Party, but I'm going to tell you that your vote is your vote. And if you're unenthusiastic, there is no reason for you to come out. No one's twisting your arm. I'm not going to mandate that you vote for a party that ain't working for you. And know this, even when the Democrats run milquetoast candidates like Terry McAuliffe, sometimes you still win because what you do is by challenging the Republicans, you force the Republicans to give us concessions. And that's what you get out of this race in Virginia. And that's what my Maryland people will get. I live in Maryland. What we will get out of a loser candidate like Tom Perez against Larry Hogan here in Maryland is he will get concessions because it's one party anyway. So go ahead and keep not listening, Democrats. But at the end of the day, I'm on the side of the people. And as long as the people get something, and if getting something means we have to use you as a crash test dummy to get it, well, you play golf with them and go to cotillions with them and spend birthdays with them anyway and have drinks and steaks at Ruth Christie's anyway. Stop acting like you're fake enemies. You're frenemies, and some of you are damn good friends. You ain't lying. You can lie to yourself. Don't lie to us. All right. And that's a good little soundbite, Johnson. People need to hear it, Johnson. People need to hear it. Okay. Let's go to 804. 804, you are live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Good evening, Tim. This is Montague Magruder. You already know what time it is.
Montague, what's up, man? In VA, my brother, what's going on?
Well, first, I want to address a comment that was made by a previous caller about the Youngkin ads. She is absolutely 100% correct. They were advertising the ending the grocery tax in Virginia, so she is correct on that. Also, one of your previous callers mentioned that the General Assembly only comprises of the Senate. That is entirely incorrect. It is two chambers. It is the Senate and the House of Delegates. Now, that being said and clarified, you remember, Tim, about 4 years ago, 2017, I ran for the House of Delegates in Virginia as a Green Party candidate. You may remember that candidacy.
I do remember that.
During that time, McAuliffe was governor. And during that time, Charlottesville happened. August 2017. Where Heather Heyer was killed in my birthplace city of Charlottesville. I was there at the protest that day when that incident took place. There were people who still remember that and never got answers for what happened that day, and wanted some accountability from McAuliffe before giving him consideration. Not only that, but also his never-ending support of the Atlantic Coast and Mountain Valley pipelines, which required a compressor station to be built in Union Hill, which was a neighborhood settled by freed slaves after the Civil War. And not only that, but in Richmond, they built the Pulse BRT because of Terry McAuliffe making threats to Richmond City Council to send money back to the feds if they did not approve the plan. Again, is those bits of history that that the Democrat Party never held McAuliffe accountable for, and the fact that he railroaded two black female candidates that were also running in the primary against him this time. That left a sour taste in the mouths of black people. Jennifer McClellan, who I believe is a state senator, and Jennifer Carroll Roy, who is a state delegate. They were in the primary running against McAuliffe, and McAuliffe basically, because he had the money, he was able to basically steamroll both of them out of contention. And I bring up these things to remind people that people like Terry McAuliffe, McAuliffe has a past, and the Democrat Party has never made him answer for it. And a lot of people like myself got turned off by that, and that's why people like myself voted for Princess Blanding, which makes me wonder why a previous caller talked about he held his nose and voted for McAuliffe. Why would you hold your nose when you could just walk away from the funk in the first place?
Oh.
That's what I decided to do. I decided to walk away from what was stinking, because, quite frankly, McAuliffe McAuliffe is a giant pile of shit, and he stinks. And if anybody didn't pick up on what he did in his previous term as governor, then I don't know how I can help them, man. But yeah. That's why I make calls like this, you know?
Montague, what's the name of
people need to be aware that
Montague, what's the name of the two black women that he steamrolled? Say those names for me one more time, brother.
I believe she's a state senator. Jennifer McClellan. She represents a district in the city of Richmond. Gotcha. And state delegate Jennifer Carroll Foy, who represents Woodbridge. In the House of Delegates. Her district basically includes Woodbridge.
Wow. Okay.
Now,
excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I just want, like I said, I want everybody to. This is why digging up the track record of any political candidate and making them answer for their transgressions is so important. No votes without accountability ever.
Montague, my brother, thank you so much for calling in, man. I appreciate you. And damn it, man, it's good to hear from you, man. It's good to hear from you. Give it up for my caller, Montague Magruder, y'all. You did up. Hey, Virginia messed up when they didn't get Montague, brother. That's a fighter for the people right there. Fighter for the people, Johnson. Wow. Montague is one of those people, man, that educated me about Jill Stein and Green Party back in 2016, 2017, man. I hadn't even really looked at him. Back in 2016, 2015, actually. Okay? Got me even considering, candidates in politics on the electoral side. I wasn't give a shit. I didn't trust any politicians. Montague used to have spirited arguments with me. He's like, Bernie's not the way to go. Like, he was really down on Bernie for a little. And I understood. Like, now I really get it. But I was so new to politics and just wanting policies that would impact black people that I wasn't seeing what I wasn't seeing. You know what I'm saying? But I got you. I'm going to go to the next call. We got another call in queue. 626, you are live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, how you do, Johnson? This is DeCarlo.
DeCarlo. What's up, brother? What's on your mind, DeCarlo?
Hey, you know what, Tim? I'm blown away by the two previous callers. Forgive me. I'm working, but I'm going to tell you. I wanted to, first of all, amazing stuff that they've said. But I wanted to say before I even got into my comment, there's a great book that you should read from, believe it or not, before the Civil Rights Movement. It's called Black Man's America by Simeon Booker. And the thing is, Simeon Booker brings up all of these things that are happening now in the 1960s. They go from JFK talking about how black people are being systematically discriminated against to the people in Congress going, well, look, let them have the vote because they're going to need us for banks, for loans, for cars. And guess what the number was, Tim? 2%. That's all we had control of back in 1965.
There it is.
55 years later, what do we have?
2%.
2%. This is all set up. It's all set up. This has always been there. I'm not trying to act like some kind of conspiracy theorist. I'm saying, look, if your numbers stay the same, something's wrong. Like, perfect example, here's the other part of that. Do you realize that African Americans have been at 14% of this population since the Civil War? The Civil war. We're over here and we're sitting in a situation where we don't realize it's kind of like the old country saying, you know, if you put a frog in boiling water, that frog's going to jump out. But if you put that frog in water and then slowly turn up the heat, they'll cook and they won't even realize it.
Wow.
That's what's happening to a lot of our people, and that's what's sad about this. And I love, but that's what's happening because we are in a situation where, just like forgive me, Montague, I believe his name was, the brother before, he said it perfectly, because we are in a situation where, and I mean, I'm going back to the old South Carolina thing. It's like we, instead of going for Sanders, we went for a, you know what. So that's one part. But then the other part is, and this is the other big part that I wanted to share, and you know, because I know that a lot of people may not know about it, and you can look this up online, Google it. It's there for all to see. The DNC in open court, when the Clintons took control of it back in 2015, they paid off all the DNC's debts. And so what they said was, is we'll pay them off, but we want some say-so in what happens with the DNC. Well, the say-so they wanted was they wanted the purse strings.
Yep.
They wanted to know, I mean, they wanted to have control over who was going to allocate, who those resources were going to be allocated to,
yep,
and who to choose as their representative for the head of the DNC. Because Keith Ellison, who is now Attorney General of Minnesota, was wanting to do DNC, and they said the Clintons didn't want him to be there. The Clintons. Now, see, the thing is, they chose Tom Perez, and look, and I don't have anything against the Dominicans, but my thing is this. A lot of Dominicans don't think they're black. And if you look back in their history, a lot of, you know, Trujillo, they tried to kill off black people. They thought they were white with skin as dark as ours, Tim. So, see, we're in a situation where we have people literally sabotaging us from all sides, and it's completely sad. And instead of us just going, like Montague said, no, we don't have to be with any party. Yes, that's right. If Terry McAuliffe is that effed up, then we need to be trying to do something else. It's sad. But we're in a situation right now where it's like this. We asked for, hey, can you give us something because of all the oppression? And then they said, oh, yeah, sure, we'll give $450,000 to people who walk to this country who aren't documented. I just don't understand that. If you're going to say that we are your foundation, well, let me correct that. They said black women are the foundation of the party. And then, of course, black men are second behind black women. Then why aren't you doing something for us? All you're doing is giving us nothing. That's why you're going to start seeing this. And I said it to Roland Martin. We're going to start seeing a bloodbath in some cases politically. Because if they're not going to do anything for these people in this community who have been suffering for centuries under systemic discrimination and exploitation, well then, yeah, I'm not saying that the idiot's going to get back in, but guess what? They're making it a lot more easy, a lot more easy. And this is something that I really, truly, it's like, I'm not trying to sound like doom and gloom, but I'm telling you, this is what I see in the future.
Well, look, caller, I appreciate you, caller, for calling up. I appreciate the message, and I hear you loud and clear, man, and I agree with it. I look at it as it's what naturally happens when people are neglected and people aren't getting their issues considered. When there's no action, forget consideration. There's no action being applied to stop the bleeding that's happening in the black community. It has been happening for some time. But you got to realize they got rags. They got sutures. They got staples. And what they're doing is just watching us bleed out. And if you look behind their backs, you see they're holding the blade that cut us. So that's really what's happening here. You know, I don't see why they can't see it. So I don't expect black people to vote for this. I don't expect white people to vote for it. And they're not voting for it. Like, how is that a campaign? DeCarlo, how is it a campaign? This guy offers everybody no taxes on the groceries, and the other guy offers everybody to feel good about being able to say black people are discriminated against. Like, that's what it looked like. And that he's not Trump. Well, first of all, you got to substantively make the other guy Trump. And I don't know if McAuliffe was able to make Youngkin look like Trump. But how's that going to work? People know he's not Trump. But it's just this lazy, cheap politics. But I like what Magruder said, man. Montague said, McAuliffe never had to answer for McAuliffe. So one of the things I saw earlier today, along with Tesla and Figaro, sent out a tweet about it, where they were talking, already blaming black people for a loss in Virginia. They knew this was coming. They saw it, they knew it, they had a strong inclination that Terry would lose. And they already preemptively started saying, we can't get the blacks to come out. Black men particularly can't get them to come out. And it just reminds me of Ice Cube talking to Roland Martin. When Ice Cube had his contract with Black America, and Roland Martin was pushing back on the timing of it because it might hurt Biden, who, by the way, hasn't put forth any specific policies for black people, even at this point. Roland Martin said that, that the Republicans that weren't so much interested in winning the black vote, but just taking away a couple of points. And Roland was sort of sounded like he was chastising Ice Cube a little bit. And Ice Cube said, well, hey, how is it that there's votes for them to get? How is it that there are black voters who were so distraught or so fed up with the Democratic Party that they're willing to go vote for Donald Trump or a Republican? And Roland had no comeback for that because everyone wants to play protect their own stash. But the truth is, the Democratic Party has failed to deliver to black people. They failed to give incentives beyond, you don't want that guy really hates you, that guy's racist. Well, guess what? A lot of black people realize there are a lot of racist white people in the Democratic Party as well. The only thing I'll push back on you, DeCarlo, about is the Dominican comment. Brother, I do understand where you're coming from when you say, skin folk ain't kinfolk. And there are people that are anti-black, but here's something else. There are anti-black black people. African Americans, Native blacks, ADOS, or whatever you want to label them, who would do the same thing. So I don't want to make it about Dominicans being anti-black. We got anti-black white people, anti-black Asians, anti-black anybody. We got anti-black blacks. So let's not get into that part. We don't need to go there. It's like people that make Kamala Harris the fact that she has, she has a split heritage. That she's not just a black woman, she's split heritage. They make that their point of contention when I could just look at what she's done. I could just look at her background. I'll vote for anybody that has our best interest. And I'll vote against anybody who doesn't. And I'll call out anybody who doesn't. And that's just, and really, that doesn't sound all that crazy, but you know what? That's considered radical. Because some of those people that I'm going to call out are going to have people that have D's in front of their name for their party affiliation. And that's something you just don't do. Not unless you're a Republican. But it's something I do. All right, guys, I got another call in the queue. I'm glad you called up. Let's go with 904, DeCarlo. Thank you, DeCarlo, once again, my caller. Let's go to 904. 904, you are live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Is it me, Tim?
Now you're live. Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Tim, I'm not going to give my name because I'm at work right now. But I'm a Dominican. I'm a veteran. I'm 58 years old. Got here at 6. And ever since I got here, I was either too black or not black enough. So I'm glad you told dude to step off with that because I sweat blood for this country, no matter what you say. Anyway, that's all I had to get off my chest. On top of that, take a look at our mental health crisis right now. I'm in Florida, and right now I'm looking at an ER full of kids that can't get a mental health bed. That's all I can say.
All right, brother. Well, thank you, my brother, for calling up. It's all good. I'm glad you contributed to calling up to the show. And yeah, well, I just want to make that, I just want to make it clear where I stand and also give my commentary on my last caller's points. But to your point, my Dominican friend, let me just say, brother, you sweating for this country had nothing to do with your, with you being in a position of power, which may leave you disadvantaged, or may have give you backlash if you support helping black people. So you can sweat for this country and you can go to war for this country. You can do some things that have put you in harm's way for the country. But when you're in politics and you stand up for black people, there's a price to pay for that. At least there seems like it's a death sentence because that's why nobody wants to do it. So that part is distinctive, okay? So I think that's different than you being a good citizen. That's about politics and it's about other issues. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but yeah. Yeah, Johnson, yeah. But I like, look, guys, look, we are, the mental health is, brother, that's something that we should be addressing, okay? And it's something that we are going to address on this channel, and we are putting together a show about this, because mental health must be something that's put more in the forefront, right? It's something that must be put in the forefront. And that's an issue that impacts us all, okay? So, wow, Johnson, that's what I'm talking about. We ended up a pretty good show on a Tuesday, Johnson. Pretty good show on a Tuesday. I'm going to thank everybody that called up tonight. Everybody that spoke out tonight, thank you for doing so. I didn't know you were going to come through, but you came through. If you like this show, Johnson, if you value this show, become a member of the Tim Black Wolf Pack. Go to jointimblack.com. Starting at only $5 a month. Get a link to everything we ever put out. And I put out a lot of content. I do a lot of content. We always leave it on the field. You may not always agree, but you're always going to agree that I give you all that I believe and all that we got. And that's all I can promise anyone. And that's all anyone can promise you. And the Democratic Party actually promised that and fulfilled that, they would be doing much better. But they're not. They're not fulfilling that obligation. Also, we got Pause with Tim Black. That's tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you like podcasts, because you're working, you got stuff going on, you got to pay attention, you got to use your hands, you can't watch a screen, go to timblackpause.com and subscribe or follow that podcast. It's doing really well, guys. I'm really excited about the podcast. Shout out to Don Marino. Shout out to Joy Bunton for Joy connecting me with Don, and helped me kind of like get together and help me see the vision of a podcast. Work with me to put together this website that we're building. I got some stuff to do tomorrow on it. But we're doing some things. Give it up for those guys and for being great help with that issue. Because I'm excited about the Pause with Tim Black podcast. The Pause with Tim Black show is really doing well, guys. What else? That's it. Let's go to my super chats because these guys keep the show going. Thank you guys for donating to the show. Let's see what we got. Check it out, Johnson. Check it out. Will supports the show. Thank you, Will. As well as Sheldon Hughes. Bose Einstein. Can we now say BBB equal Build Back Better BS? So weak. I didn't even talk about it because it's such a horrible slogan. Oh, God. I come up with better slogans on the potty. Now, I know that's nasty, that's graphic, but I'm saying I come up with better slogans just brushing my teeth in the morning. This is ridiculous. Who got paid to come up with the BBB, Better Business Bureau? Who is that? Who in the hell of bad ideas came up with this bad idea? What professor numbskull came up with this shit? Who cooked this up in the pot of stupid ideas? Who surfed the internet to find the worst acronym for a political campaign? Build Back Better. What in a stuttering BBB, what in a BB King fanatic came up with this? What in a BB gun shooting? Who came up with this? Who told them this was a good idea? That's nothing. It says build back better. Build what back better? Build who back better? What? Build back better. No, build back better. So this was horrible. I didn't talk about it because, folks, I had psychologically started to check out on this nonsense. You got nothing for my people. You're not helping poor people. Right? So, and you're not helping progressives, real progressives. If you ain't supporting black agenda, you ain't progressive. I still believe that. I'm still riding on that. You don't support reparations. You don't support the black agenda. You don't support progressives. You ain't progressive. And you don't support poor people either, because supporting black people is supporting poor people, because we're the biggest group of poor people in the country. So you can't tell me you support poor people
10 seconds
without supporting black people. Impossible. We are your poor people, and we are your black people at the same time. Anyway, going on to Andre Gales. You guys got me started. Andre, win or lose, the establishment doesn't care. They're set that children's children will be set for the rest of their lives. Who cares about having a message when the issues don't even touch you, Johnson? Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts. Kalam Thompson. Ty Savage, thank you, Kalam. Ty Savage says, KJ really believes it was bamboo ballets? Ballets? Really, Johnson? Just joking around, by the way. Thanks for covering the firefighter from Boynton Beach. Much love to all the Wolfpack. Well, yes. Glad you caught that. How you going to be the first black woman fire chief and they say, yay, and then they take her out the mural? They paint over it. They make her a white woman in the mural. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Bullseye sign. Virginia GOP want to say, the Virginia GOP want to say, U.S. was good and no oppression. Okay. Yeah. I guess that is the message that they send. And people rather be delusional. Look, there are some of us who care about these slogans, not slogans. There's some of us who care about the overarching implications of, like ethics, and we care about the direction, and we care about, broader, the ethos, and we care about, but then there's people who care about what they get out of it. What do we get out of it? And you got to have something that people get out of it. You can't just say theory. At the end of the day, critical race theory is just a theory, okay? But if you can talk about what would have shut all that shit down, Johnson, what would have cleared all of it away was, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to XYZ. We're going to get rid of your kids' debt. Black people, we're going to give rid of your kids' student debt, and we're going to give 30% of contracts in Virginia to black small businesses. I'm putting a stake in my claim. I'm putting it in down right now. Those black investments will go back into the community. They will spend more money. They're not going to go to Barbados. They're not going to go to Cuba or Venezuela or Argentina with their money. They're going to go home and spend their money in their communities, which are also not segregated, right, Virginia? So it's going to be more money in Virginia overall, and we all benefit. But that's too much of a visionary, and that would piss off too many of the other set of people that they want to bring in, right? So they can't do that. But if you can't do that, if you won't do that, don't blame us when you lose. That's all I'm saying. Don't blame us when you lose. India Walton just got housed by a political machine. Dead set on not having us be able to get shit. Okay. I had one. Okay, Sally Thompson. If it is after midnight where you are, it is my birthday. It's happy birthday to Sally Thompson. Happy birthday, Sally. Happy birthday, sister. She's 72 and still up for the battle. Have a drink on me, Tim. Stay strong, Wolfpack. Love. Wow. Yes, Johnson. Not bad at all, people. Not bad at all. Happy birthday to Sally. I hope that was everyone. Something happened with my browser. Was that everyone? Was that everyone? Let's go to calendar. We'd like to make sure we get everybody here, Johnson. When you call up and when you do a super chat, I want you to know I would do the same for you. Oh, my God. Election day, election day. Leave them all dismayed on election day. I see nothing here. I guess I got everybody. I don't know what's going on here, but it looks like I got everybody. All right. All right, folks, here we go. Let's go. Tomorrow, I'll see you once again for the Tim Black Show. Thank you for tuning in. Tip your bartenders. Become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. Go to Join Tim Black. Go find us on Patreon. Find me at Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. Tim Black and Night on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok. Believe it or not, the old man's on TikTok. Let's be a part of this. Make this happen. Join the podcast. Write a review. Get yourself a Cut the Check bracelet. We still got a bag of them. I can't get these things away. Cut the Check bracelets. Write a review for the podcast. Get 2 bracelets. We pay everything. The shipping. We pay for the bracelets. It just takes a little bit of your time. What's going on, Wolfpack? If you already did it, thank you so much. Thank you if you've already done it. A lot of you have already done it. So thank you so much, guys. We are out of here. I'm out of here. Mrs. Black, I love you, and I'm coming upstairs. Wolfpack.
Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to TimBlackTV.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there. Don't tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. Get your news and information from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to TimBlackTV.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.
Most news shows are suspect. They don't focus on Black issues, and when they do, it's all fluff. How does that help your life? How does that help your family? How does that help the culture? They don't. The Tim Black Show is different. Tim Black gives you news for people who can't stand the news. Real, authentic, researched, entertaining, on point. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. Visit www.timblacktv.com today. Get Black breaking news, politics, culture from someone you can trust. TimBlackTV.com. Join us today.